Now, the memorial service for the assassinated right-wing influencer Charlie Kirk is to take place in Arizona later today. President Donald Trump is expected to attend the service. Kirk's death has raised the temperature of the already heated political rhetoric in the United States.
It was here, on a university campus in Utah, where this man, Charlie Kirk, was shot dead.
Get a picture, Charlie.
The 31-year-old activist was a rising star of the Republican right, credited with helping Donald Trump get re-elected president, and known for his controversial and forthright face-to-face debates.
By no moral standard is it ever okay to be able to interfere with the life of another because your life might be minorly disrupted.
Here for you tonight.
His politics often strayed from the conservative to the conspiratorial. As well as being anti-abortion, anti-LGBTQ, and advocating that women should submit to their husbands, he promoted the racist and false Great Replacement theory that hypothesizes white populations are being usurped.
For far too many.
His assassination has turned up the political temperature to boiling point. Trump and his acolytes have blamed the, quote, radical left for Kirk's assassination. And Vice President J.D. Vance escorted his body back to Arizona on Air Force Two. Former President Barack Obama called his killing a tragedy and, like many others, has warned of the consequences of politicizing acts of violence. On the issue of firearms, Kirk said, "It's worth it to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment." Prophetic words from the man whose death has divided America.
For more on this, let's bring in Tyson Barker, non-resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council think tank. Hello, Tyson. Thanks for joining us. So, looking ahead to the memorial service, there's a lineup of speakers from the top levels of U.S. government, including President Trump. What does this moment mean for Trump's Republican Party?
Yeah, I mean, so the reports are that the White House is actually going to be bringing 2 planes of White House officials to the funeral. There are a number of cabinet level officials that are going to be present. And I think that what this says is essentially that just as the MAGA movement led by the charismatic figure of Donald Trump has just reshaped the Republican Party in his image, Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA played a very similar role in re-engaging Gen Z in the Republican Party. And the fact is that, and I don't think that they would make any bones about this, that that Turning Point USA, under the leadership of Charlie Kirk, was in many ways a kind of youth auxiliary of the MAGA movement. And to that extent, the connective tissue is very, very strong.
Right. I mean, as you say, yes, Charlie Kirk led a right-wing youth movement called Turning Point USA. How has his death affected young conservatives, and what does the future of the movement look like?
I think that his death has been extremely consequential, not just for the young adherents. And we can just think about the massive growth of Turning Point USA. It was extremely successful in mobilizing a new conservative upswing among young voters. There are over 3,000 chapters at high schools and colleges across the United States since its founding in 2012. And just as an American, I can tell you that the way that it has been able to support the rebalancing of U.S. politics towards the right has been extremely marked, and we saw that in last year's election. How this will continue after his death is unclear. He was a central seminal figure in Turning Point USA, very similar to the role that Donald Trump plays in MAGA. So it's not exactly clear, even though his widow will be taking over leadership.
Right. So looking at U.S. politics, as a whole, I wonder, do we see any way out of this spiral of political violence and deeper divides that clearly exist?
Well, I mean, in the wake of this assassination, there has been an epidemic of disinformation and misinformation online. Conspiracy theories are running rampant. Some reporting has said that the uptick in conspiracy theories is 2 times that of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump last year in Pennsylvania. So this is an extremely, let's say, sensitive and pitched moment in U.S. politics. And those conspiracy theories run the gamut from those who see, who blame them, including Steve Bannon, the role of progressives and the Democratic Party and progressive activists, to those who see it as actually coming from Trump adherents. So the fog of disinformation is very, very strong right now. And from the White House itself, we're seeing this being instrumentalized to look at ways to go after what they see as the elements that have driven this kind of political violence on the left specifically.
Right. Tyson Barker, thank you.
Thank you.